It's Centel here with Style with Centel. And today is an exciting day because for my ladies that have ordered the Palette 18, I am going to do an unboxing video and how to set up your palette with all your goodies. So, you'll get your SEINT box in the mail and it'll be full of stuff. So, you're probably going to have in there your perfector, which will come in this little tin, and I have another video on how to prepare that, which I talk about all the time also in my videos. You might have ordered the face cream, which is the milk cream, which is fantastic. I highly recommend it, but you may not have ordered it yet, and you may have your own skincare, which is completely a-okay. This makeup goes good on with all products, except you just don't want to use a primer with it, usually because there's silicone on the primer and the makeup won't last. So we've probably discussed that in other videos too. So you have your palette. Your 18 palette is a double-decker palette that can get 9 palettes on one layer. So you can get 9 of the, not 9 palettes, 9 tins, big tins, which are the highlight tins, the lip and cheek tins, the illuminator tins on one layer, or 18 of the smaller ones, which are the eyeshadows. So you have a variety which to put in here. So that's your palette you get. You probably will also have in there the setting spray, which you can use for your makeup's longevity, and some brushes. So the brushes I recommend are, so your brushes will all come in little packaging, and I will have recommended brushes or will try them on you. I usually recommend, depending on the kind of coverage you want, the brush. So a lot of people that are starting out that want a light coverage, I might have recommended the brush bronzer brush, which looks like that. The detail brush, which looks like this, great for contouring and getting into smaller spaces. The eyeshadow brush, which has a smudge end and a fluffy end for your eyeshadows. The multitasker brush, which has a flat end, which is good for lip color, good for eyeshadows. The pointy end, good for the black eyeliner or other lining ones, or color correction. So if you have a blemish and you have to add a little bit more highlight there for color correction, or what would I want to say? I wanted to use the word disclosure in there, but do we disclose blemishes? I don't know, but you know what I mean. And then the line brush, which is for eyebrows. It's got a very fine end or narrow end to it, which is great for stroking on eyebrows, and the spoolie end. This one can also probably be used other places also. What I like is the versatility of these brushes in this makeup. And then along with the brushes is the brush cleaner, which I so recommend. And I have done a video on the brush cleaner. I just don't know if it's on Instagram or on YouTube, but I should probably have it on both places. And then it'd be on Facebook also. So then you'll have your eyeshadows all come in these little packets with your little eyeshadows in between, and I'll get to them. And then you have your tins. So you'll have a bunch of tins that look like this. And I'm just gonna, when this thing is empty, it wants to fall off of there. I'm back. Okay, so your tins will come like this, your highlight tins, and they'll open like that. So again, if it's hot in the summer and your makeup's arrived, please make sure to put it in the fridge or on a cool countertop and in case it melted outside. The creams can melt, but they can also settle back in their containers, which is so helpful. And I will have a video posted shortly on how you can heat up your creams again for longevity, so you can get all your makeup out of them and clean them up. So that would be one of your highlight colors. So I recommend keeping a lid so that if you want to just take one of your lip shades with you or something, you can always put a lid on it. And also, because it does help if you have no nails to get the products out after you put them in your tin. Okay, so now we're gonna put them in our compact. So you're gonna start with your main color corrector. So I was gonna say main shade, but I don't want to. For your highlight, you wanna start with your color corrector. So this will be what we're gonna, if you've been color matched, some people may not need a color corrector, so you may not have this one, which is a-okay. So your color corrector first, which you're gonna put on to cover any blemishes, any redness, rosacea, skin discoloration, hyperpigmentation, dark circles under your eyes, whatever your concern might be, we may be starting with a color corrector. The next one to add in would be your contour. You may get in the habit of contouring first and then starting with your color correction and your highlights. I like to do my color correction first still, to get used to the makeup anyway, so when you get used to it. I like to start there. Then I like to put on the contour. Then we have our main shade, and then we have our lightest highlight, which will be our brightener shade. Okay, so when the products come, they may have a little film on top of them, so you may want to just rub them off slightly at first. And I did that, and I didn't have a film on, so I got a lot on my finger. But you might see they have just a little film on them, and then that's just fine. You can just rub them off or not. Then I'm going to put on this layer, I'm going to put my bronzer and my illuminator are going to be on this top layer for what I would put in a case. So that would be your first layer. And then I usually put in the bottom would be some lip and cheek colors. So all these on this layer are all my cream products. If possible, and I had the tins I could do it, I wouldn't mix my cream and my creams and my powders on the same level. You just don't want to get cream, the powder residue in the creams. You don't want to get creams in the powder. Makes sense, right? So then that would be a layer. So the second layer then is for the rest of the story. No, the rest of the face. So right. So I always talk about the vanilla dust, the translucent powder, which I use. It's just such a fine little milled powder, and it's great for under our eyes, setting any oily place. Anywhere you have a blemish that you might want to set it on, it's just a great, you can use your finger or you can use a brush. I also highly recommend, once you get eyeshadows, is the eyeshadow cleaning tile. And how this works is, once you use a darker eyeshadow, you can, where did I throw that brush? You can clean your brush in there, so get all the residue eyeshadow off, so you can go to use the same brush and go to a lighter color, and you don't have that tracking. So it's just a really nice tile to have in your compact when you can customize it for yourself. And the last one I like in there is the powder illuminator. I like the powder illuminator. I have right now on my cream illuminator, which gives some glow, but the powder illuminator gives more glow. And so I like the option of having both. I do like the extra glow that this one's called Photoshop can give. Sometimes I like even adding it to my lipstick. So it just gives a little extra pop. And then we have our eyeshadows. So I have the eyeliner. We have one black eyeliner shadow, and it's good for fine lines, but it's not necessary. If you don't need black, you don't want black, don't put it in. So whatever you picked for your eyeshadow colors are fine. What I like is when you can customize them to whatever colors gravitate to you. And so, but just for colors, this is Trust. I also use it for my eyebrows. This one is Cafe. And then this one is Chai. See, I knew that they were coffee and tea. I just couldn't remember which was which. And then this one is Xeon, which is a fantastic rusty warm color. Havana is such fun. Claire is a very popular color. Get some depth. And then these are all matte colors. And then we have shimmers. And Angel's Landing is a very beautiful shimmer color for your eyes as well. This is Atlantic, and I just felt like some green today, so I had some green on. And then I still have room for 3 more, whatever. Why I said to keep the top of one of your tins handy is you may have nails, but the tops just slide in and then pops out, like so you slide it in and pop out at the tins, because the tins are all metal and the palettes have magnets in them, and that's why the tins can just fit in and we can take them out, interchange them, and that's why you have your custom palette is all designed in your colors. And then when you go through, you might go through your main highlight faster and months ahead of your other ones. You can just pop out your main highlight, you get a new one. For example, the main highlight I'm using right now is almost to the end, but I'm going to use it until it is finished, and then I only have to replace it with one. So handy with that. So there you have it. Your palette 18 is a very good palette. It's larger than some of them. You can start as small as 4 if you're watching this video and you haven't just bought and trying to set up your palette. You can buy larger than this, but this is a really nice one if you want a full face, some extra colors, and along with your brushes, when you go traveling, that's all you need to take. It is so economical and so travel friendly, and you can take this on airplanes. So that's also kind of handy, so you don't have it lost in your luggage. The other thing is, if you want to go smaller, that's fine. I have another video on the palette 12, which is kind of like my Goldilocks palette. This one can do a full face, have everything that you want in it. It just doesn't have as much if you want more. So it just depends where your level is. But again, they're totally customized just for you. So hopefully that helps you put your palette together. And then I just did another video with the palette 12 of how to apply your makeup and the order to apply it, which is also helpful if you want to watch that. So until next time, live, love, learn, and laugh.